Alright guys, so we got a big update this morning. The Reforge update for SkyBlock has finally come out. They did say that it was supposed to come out at the same time as Dungeons, but it looks like they released it a little bit early so that we have time to prepare for Dungeons, is what it seems like. So yeah, we're going to read through these patch notes. It's not actually in the game yet. SkyBlock is actually down right now in maintenance still. You can't get in yet. But I just wanted to get a video out quickly talking about these patch notes here. So again, we're just going to read through these. So it says the upcoming Catacombs update includes a lot of features that are not directly related to dungeons and other features that will affect the rest of the game. Today we are releasing everything that isn't directly dungeons related in preparation for 0.8. So I guess 0.8 is what dungeons will be. So it includes the Reforge update, the Dungeon Hub. They're releasing the Dungeon Hub too, which is pretty cool, and a lot of general changes. So the Reforge update, weaker accessory reforges, but much stronger weapon and armor reforges. So basically this says that the reforges are becoming too powerful. They need to take power away from all the accessories and give it to the weapons. That way they're able to just freely add as many accessories as they want and upgrade the accessory bag as much as they want as well. So it says for players who currently have nearly all the accessories in the game, this will initially result in an overall nerf. But with the introduction of the new Reforge stones and mythic rarity, it'll be a sizable buff. So I myself, I'm only missing like 1 or 2 talismans, so that'll be good for me. So it also says that the universal reforges can only be applied to accessories from now on, so that's something we knew. That means, for example, you can't get godly on your armor anymore, but you're not going to want to get godly on your armor anymore, because the new reforges are going to be better than that. And it won't take godly off your armor if it already has it, but again, you're going to want to replace it. It'll be better than that. They also removed crit chance from almost every accessory reforge, and it's a lot easier to get on weapons and armor now. And the base crit chance of players is now buffed by 10% from 20 to 30%. However, the combat skill now only gives 0.5 crit chance per level instead of 1. That's a change that I can't say I like, but I mean, at least they buffed the base. And they say that the unpleasant reforge still gives crit chance, so if you're struggling to hit that 100% crit chance, you can reforge a few accessories with that. So this kind of looks like a new section here. It says build diversity. Until now, changing build was nearly unthinkable on top of being unnecessary. With the addition of dungeons, build swapping finally makes sense. To help players change builds, we are introducing multiple changes. So the weight of all reforges is now the same. There is no rare reforge option anymore. If you want legendary on your sword now, the odds are simply 1 out of 9. This is of course complemented by the fact that there are less bad options in the armor/weapon pool. You can also now reforge your entire accessory bag, and this actually has a screenshot here. It says applies the silky reforge to all accessories in your accessory bag that don't already have it. It shows the number of items to reforge and the cost, and that is also an extremely cheap cost there to reforge an entire bag. It says 60,000, it's crossed out to 23,000. It says he's saving 36,000. I don't know exactly what it is that's giving him the cost reduction there, but either way, even at the 60,000, that's still extremely cheap for an entire accessory bag. Because not only does it make reforging a lot faster, but also a lot cheaper. All you have to do is go in the reforging menu and click on the accessory bag that appears in the bottom right of the menu. If you don't want specific accessories to be reforged, you have to remove them from the bag before using this feature. Now they also added a Reforge Anvil unlocked in Obsidian Collection 10. It says place it on your island and you can access advanced reforging directly from your private island. So that's interesting. They also show someone named Iris here. I'm assuming that'll maybe be the NPC that shows up if you place one of these on your island. So now it says healthier RNG, and basically this says that they know RNG can be, you know, annoying, but they also know that it's a good part of any MMORPG. But to kind of combat that, that's why they're introducing Reforge stones. So it says they can be used to reforge specific items or your entire accessory bag. With the reforge attached to that stone, of course, and they're meant to be overall stronger than current reforges, so players will eventually use these whenever they decide to change reforges. And most of them are RNG drops, but they should end up being pretty common in the economy, making them easy for anyone to obtain. And they do have a screenshot there attached of all the different reforge stones here, it looks like, or at least all the ones that they currently have. I'm assuming they may add more in the future. But yeah, it says these new items can be used in the Reforge Anvil or when talking to Malik in the Dungeon Hub. And again, the Dungeon Hub has now been released with this update as well, so I assume that'll be later in the patch notes. Actually, it's right there. To apply each of these stones though, it does require mining levels, and they're dropped from various different places. And then this right here actually shows each of the stones and where they all come from. So I'm just gonna, you can just pause the video. I'm not gonna read them all off. I'm actually gonna come back and look at this later myself. But yeah, you can pause the video if you want to see those. So most non-accessory Reforged stones have passives that apply to the item Reforged. For example, the Onyx applies a Reforge on pickaxes that gives a 3% chance to gain double drops when mining. And now attack speed. This should be good. It should be. They were. I know they were talking about how they were going to fix this. Since until now, attack speed was a broken statistic. Now though, attack speed allows you to attack the same monster faster. Default cooldown to attack a monster in Minecraft is 0.4 seconds. If you reach 100% attack speed, the maximum, you will now be able to attack a monster every 0.2 seconds, so 5 times per second. In many situations, the Reforge value can be surprisingly wrong. And here they have a list of all the changes to all the Reforges. Again, if you want to see this, you can just pause the video here. I'm obviously not going to go through all of these because this is a lot. They also do have the old ones here, so if you want to pause and look at this to compare it. It also says they will keep rebalancing new Reforges after the update, and due to this large change in the game, Reforging will be 2 times cheaper for a week starting now. So that was definitely the biggest part of these notes, but they did also release the Dungeon Hub, like I said, so let's get to that here. You can access this new location from a portal located inside the Hub mountain. So I assume that's that giant mountain in the Hub. The Dungeon Hub is a perfect place to look for dungeon teammates or hang out while waiting for your friends to get ready. Keep in mind that the catacombs will not be open today. While the catacombs dungeon is technically rolling this patch, they will remain closed until we feel the server is stable. You'll have to wait a few more days for the 0.8 update. So it says you have to wait a few more days, so it sounds like the update's going to be out really soon, in just a few days for dungeons to come out, is what it seems like there. It also says if you run down the stairs, you will find Guildford, who wants to challenge you to multiple races. So that sounds like another one of the chicken race, the woodland race, the end race, so it sounds like a new type of race there. And then here we just come to the general changes. It says there are quite a few changes that had to be done while working on dungeons. Here's a list of the general changes rolling with this update. This is ability scaling. Intelligence scaling is fixed. Every ability that deals damage will now deal increased damage based on your intelligence value. On top of that, we added internal scaling modifiers, which allows us to change how fast or slow every item ability scales. Most abilities currently scale at a ratio of 1% extra damage per 1 intelligence. That sounds like a pretty high boost in damage there. That'll be interesting to see. Especially good for mages, I suppose. Gear combat requirements. A few mob drops in the game now have combat level requirements, similar to Slayer items. I guess this right here is a list of everything. So again, I'm not going to read all these, but you can pause the video if you want to see it. These don't seem to be very high combat level requirements at all, though. Those seem to be pretty low. So next, it says damage cap system. Many dungeon monsters have a damage cap system, which means that above a certain amount of damage dealt, the extra damage is reduced by a large percent. As a test, the Magma Boss will now be using the system too. Any blow above 2,000 damage on the Magma Boss will deal 2,000 plus 10% of the extra damage. The goal is to help it survive a little longer without making it stronger. So that's interesting. I know that everyone, I know that Magma Bosses now just get absolutely, obliterated. They just pretty much get one shot, I believe now. So I guess this sounds like it's gonna make it so that those bosses last longer. That's pretty interesting. So that sounds like, say I did 12,000 damage, but I hit the Magma Boss. It would deal the 2,000 damage, and then there's 10,000 damage that goes above that, so it would give me 10% of that, which would be another 1,000 damage, so it sounds like I would do 3,000 damage instead of 12,000. It's an interesting concept. I don't know, we'll have to see how that works. And now it says they fixed fairy souls. Every fairy soul in the game now has a hidden ID, which allows us to not only spawn fairy souls inside dungeons or move fairy souls around, but it should also fix players who have more fairy souls than they should have. No, wait, I have more fairy souls than I should have. Oh no, are they gonna remove those? I have 2 extra fairy souls, I believe. They also did some item balancing. The Reaper Scythe now spawns baby zombies to make them more discreet. They buffed the Yeti Sword by 20 strength and its base ability damage. They buffed the Pigman's ability damage but lowered its intelligence scaling. They buffed the AOTD's ability damage but lowered intelligence scaling. And they buffed the Frozen Scythe's ability damage and increased its intelligence scaling. They also made a change to the AOTE. We had to change how the ability works. It is now unable to go through blocks, even upwards. Interesting. I guess you could glitch through islands and stuff and blocks with the AOTE, right? So I guess that's what that fixed. And then they also added dungeon journals. The quest log menu now features a new submenu where you'll be able to read all the journal pages you can find in the catacombs. It says, thanks for reading. Credits will be in the 0.8 thread. Have fun and let us know if anything isn't working correctly. So yeah, that's the end of the patch notes there. Obviously, this brings quite a few big changes here. I'll be interested to see how this new Reforge system works. I can't wait for SkyBlock to come back up. I know it's still in maintenance, at least at the time of recording this video. It may be back up by the time this comes out. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Hopefully y'all enjoy the update. I'm pretty excited for it, and yeah, see y'all next time. Peace.
I don't believe in destiny, I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me, you ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my